Hey y'all, Ramdino here, coming at you again for another Appalachian Trail community news, through hiker update, and trail information. Well, today is a gorgeous bluebird day in North Kakalaki here. So it's awesome to be outside to be able to do this and not raining for a change. I know the hikers out there throughout the whole 2023 season have had a wet run of it. And so I'm glad that this looks like right now that we're getting some good weather up and down the trail. So that is awesome. But let's go ahead and get to the news and what's going on out there with the thru hikers. So we got Cobweb Rose snapshot. They have made it up and over Mount Moosilauke and are past the 1,800 mile mark. Now, you might have recognized that Mountain Crusher is typically with them as well and part of that family. Mountain Crusher had to get off trail and go to, I believe, a wedding, but he's getting back on, going to go summit and cross over Mount Moosilauke, catch back up to him, and then they're going to be back together again. Cobweb Rose says she is getting back her winter gear. It's getting chilly up there in the New England states, so her husband's coming up to visit her for the weekend, and he's going to bring some of that winter gear back. And I have heard from other hikers as well that it's getting down in the low 40s at night, and those temperatures will continue to drop down, particularly when you get up in the whites and get up at elevation. So she's going to be getting that back, and I reckon a lot of other hikers are going to be getting their winter gear back, or some of it as well. She said that weather has been much better overall in New Hampshire, but has been much muddier than Vermont, and Vermont is known for its mud, so that's hard to believe. In Massachusetts, it was muddy then because they came through right after I did, so it has just been a muddy year. She also said they walked through a stream that was the trail to summit up and over Mount Moosilauke there. So wet year for everybody. Soup Cup, Flying J, and Chillin', they are in the 100-mile wilderness with 51 miles to go. So they think they are going to be summiting on the 14th, which is this coming week. So that's awesome. Honey Bun, he's made it to Bromley in Vermont. He says the weather's been pretty amazing the whole time, which I guess he must be a fish. But he says it's been good. When he entered Vermont, the mud was there almost instantly. And however, it started to dry up, and then last night they got some rain, so it just turned back to mud again. He's running into more Sobos these days, and said that he saw a group of 5 actually while he was up there on Bromley Mountain. He's still in good spirits and maybe a little too positive when he's joking with other hikers. So I don't know that you can be too positive, but he's got a full goal of finishing in mid-September, but he realizes that may be a little on the ambitious size, because that would have mean if he finishes September 3rd, that would have been his 4-month anniversary on trail for his thru hike. Yellow, he has made it to Monson, Maine. He's going to be off trail next week doing some volunteer border maintenance work for the ATC in the 100-mile wilderness. So that's awesome. He's doing trail angel work, or just trail crew work, maintainer work there, even while he's doing his thru hike. So that's pretty awesome, Yellow. Patriarch, he is across the Kinsman's, and here's a picture of him up there on South Kinsman. Blacksburg, he's made it to Maine, currently around the Bethel, Maine area, and says that he loved the Mahoosic Notch. So Mahoosic Notch is an area that you're just basically throw your poles in front of you and hand over fist, climbing up through and under and between rocks and places like that. Zpacks has made it to New Hampshire. Prickleberry and Lucky Penny, they have flipped back down to Damascus and are heading Sobo into Hot Springs any day. They said after leaving the cooler New England states that they're finding the warmer hiking weather to be tolerable down here. But it does feel strange to be around absolutely no thru hikers on the trail. And they are not missing those Maine mosquitoes and the water crossings, they say. Blue has made it to Mount Washington, and here he is. He's pictured up there at the summit. He's on the far right, and we've got Shooter, Sunshine, and Hollywood there. He says that the whites are his new favorite part of the trail. Hollywood is interesting. He is a subscriber of mine, and I met him while I was hiking through Massachusetts a couple weeks ago. So had a quick chat on the trail, and that's just really neat to see folks that meet subscribers on the trail, but then to see them as they progress throughout the course of particularly folks that you just met. So that was really neat. BD, she is less than 1,000 miles from Springer Mountain on her flip-flop, and so she had summited Katahdin, flipped back down to Harper's Ferry, and now she is heading on towards Springers, and she is through the roller coaster in Virginia. So that's all the thru hikers that we've got right now. We've had a lot of folks that have summited. We'll talk about a few more here in just a minute. If you're a thru hiker out there, be sure to update me sometime around middle of the week. Works best for me. And then even if you hadn't been updating us and you've just now found the channel, go ahead and continue to update me. A quick picture or a real quick, maybe 30-second or less video are always welcome out there. And then, of course, when you summit, please send us your summit pictures. We want to rejoice and celebrate with you on that great accomplishment, or wherever you finish. If you're a Sobo, it may be Springer, or if you're a flip-flopper, wherever it is you finish, we want to celebrate with you. So send me in those pictures, in particular there at Katahdin. They'll give you a summit number. Give us that summit number and your bag tag number that you started with at when you started at Springer, and when you hit Harper's Ferry, if you decide to stop there to ATC and get a number there. So all those are interesting data to have, and we compile those over the years, and just interesting to keep up with that. So some folks that we had that summited: Boston, and OG, not OG who is my friend from here in my hometown, but a different OG. They summited on the 9th. They say the weather was cold, windy, and rainy, and they were completely socked in, but it was a glorious day nonetheless. So he wants to thank everybody out there for supporting him on his 4th thru hike. I had no idea he had done this 4 times. So congratulations to his 4-peat there, Boston. I think it's time that you did a yo-yo now. So his summit number was 306. When he left Amicalola Falls State Park, he was number 120. In Harper's Ferry, he was 99. Ron 78, he is part of our Belgium contingent, and he has summited Katahdin. He says he was number 177, so it's been a week or so since he summited. He was number 704 in Georgia and 415 in Harper's Ferry. And he said that they predicted rain and thunderstorms in the early afternoon, so the Rangers had them get an early start, and they started somewhere around 5 o'clock in the morning, and they were back at the Ranger station after summited at 1300. So most Europeans use the 24-hour clock instead of our 12-hour AM PM clock. They also use metric tools instead of metric and standards, by the way. So anyway, he said they were only up there at the sign about 10 minutes because it was so cold and gray. Lolly and Pop, they have finished their section hike, and the only reason they call it a section hike is because they attempted to thru hike in year of 2022. Last year, had to get off trail. They came back to finish this year, and they have now finished. So it's only a section hike because they did it over less than 1 year, but it's really closer to a thru hike than it is a typical section hike. But they said their bag tag numbers at the Katahdin Summit were 944 and 945. So Ron 78, he must have given, he said he was 177, but I don't think that's, I can't imagine there being that many more between the two, so I don't think that's a correct number there. But I'm pretty sure Lolly and Pops are, although I take that back. They're section hikers, so that 944 may not be accurate because they give you, the way they do it at Katahdin, sorry for the confusion, but the way they do it at Katahdin is if you're a NOBO thru hiker, you get a number. I think if you're a section hiker of that year, you get a number. If you're Sobo, you get a number. I'm not sure about flip-floppers if they do them or not. But in any case, congratulations to them. They left Springer in April of 2022. So some news we got going out there. Whispers, our northern correspondent, he says the crowds, or the non-AT crowds, have resumed their usual high levels, non-AT. So he hikes a lot of trails up there in the whites that are not AT. Of course, he hikes the AT a lot too. But he says those non-AT hikers and non-thru hikers is probably what he means, have resumed. So that's day hikers and folks that are just out for a long weekend, like a short section hiker or something. So they've resumed their high levels after a light year last year. He says, so sites are often crowded, at least during good weather. So sites, by that means in the whites, they have particular sites that you have to camp at. You can't just camp anywhere, and really the terrain doesn't let you do that. And so a lot of those sites or he says they're getting very crowded. And then David Clifton, he is a subscriber. He sends in some pictures here of what the Craig's Creek Bridge crossing is. So you'll recall from earlier updates, they removed Craig's Creek Bridge, and they are in the process of supposed to be rebuilding it. But it is, as anything with any government entity or the ATC, it takes a lot of time to do anything. So the National Park Service, ATC have not really got started back on rebuilding it. They have demoed it and moved it out of the way to start dismantling it, but it's just basically on the ground. They do have a detour set up for it that's marked, and there is trail maintainers have put in a rock hop across the creek here that you can get across, when it's not, when we don't have a lot of rain and it's not a danger to get across there. And then Spineless Cougar, he's a trail angel up in Vermont, and he's been sending us in pack weights for the past several weeks now. So he asked the hikers to weigh their packs there just to give us an idea of what the pack weights look like that far north. So that's really interesting data for people out there to kind of compare what their pack weight started with, or even you through hikers that are coming up, what your pack weights are going to be when you start versus what they may be when you get to Vermont. And so the average and the median were spot on this time. They were both at 30 pounds. And the mode, meaning the weight that had the most frequency, and that was 35 pounds. So we had some heavy hikers up there on this particular week. So he said that he had 16 Nobo AT through hikers come through, only one Sobo, which I would expect it to be more than that, him being in Vermont, and one Nobo. So that may be an indication that we've got Sobos that are, most of the Sobo bubble is more south of him in Vermont, down into Massachusetts and Connecticut. And in talking to the different hikers there, he said the trail conditions are as usual muddy, vermud, that's why it gets its name. It says some water crossings continue to have high water, but nothing that is outright dangerous where you have to get around. You're just going to get wet getting through there. So thanks to all those folks that have sent in information of what's going on out there on the trail, and those folks that are our correspondents on a regular basis. I greatly appreciate that. If you want to send me something in, if you just send in a video, I don't have a lot of time to review that to try to glean what's going on from that video. So if you could just give me if you do send in a link to a video, if you could just give me a brief synopsis of the news in that video that you feel like hikers out here want to know, that'd be greatly appreciated. But thanks to all those folks. This is a community channel, and I'm just here as the figurehead. But it takes a community to put this together every week. Not only the through hikers, but you guys out there that report in. So I greatly appreciate all that you do that, and reports, quick videos, and pictures are always welcome to include those for folks that are out there that are interested in that. And then typically I wait until Katahdin closes in mid-October before I start reporting on 2024 hikers. But I've had just a lot of folks that are just really excitement that are ginning up for their hike in 2024. And so I want to kind of feed on that and help people to continue their excitement and help the community get excited about the coming up 2024 folks that are coming up. Now, certainly we're not done with 2023 by any means. We're really, I don't know that we're halfway through with folks that are summiting, so we're going to start having a whole bunch of people summit here coming up real soon. But in any case, I want to ask your opinion and leave a comment down below if you feel like it's time to go ahead and start maybe reporting on 2024. So sometime, usually after October, I wait and switch then, but I think time may be coming up sooner rather than later. So leave a comment down below if you'd like to start seeing some reports on folks for 2024. I do have the 2024 support list, and the form link to that is live now. So if you're a 2024 through hiker, you're planning on that, then the link to the form is down below. And also I will begin posting the link to the sheet in the next couple of weeks in the spreadsheet, meaning where you'll be able to go and find those people that have filled out the form. So obviously there's no point doing it right now. There's nobody on it because this is the first week I've mentioned it. But if you're 2024 and you want to be a part of the support list and you're going to be putting your stuff out on social media, or if you're just going to be reporting directly to me and you want folks to know about that, then you can be a part of that support list as well. And the form link is down below in the description section where you can go and fill that out. And for those that are contemplating the 2024, if you are at all interested in Zpacks, I did a review on my Zpacks duplex. I am affiliate. I do have an affiliate link down below for Zpacks. So certainly most of my gear that's lightweight comes from Zpacks. I just like their stuff. Always had good luck with it, and you know, mileage may vary from people to people, but there's a link at the end of this video to that video on the duplex, that review, and then also down below, if you're at all contemplating buying anything from Zpacks, you can support this channel without it costing you anything by using my affiliate link down below, and it doesn't raise your price at all. I just get a very, very tiny commission off doing that. So I'd greatly appreciate it if you're doing that. I know a lot of folks enjoy Zpacks, see a lot of that out there on the trail. So that's another way you can support this channel. Of course, you can always support it through a super thanks, which is down below, or become a Patreon member. Your subscriptions support it, your comments support it, and your thumbs up, all those drive people to this so that you can be a part of helping me increase the hiker community and helping me support the hiker community. And then I have saved the best for last, so hopefully you've hung in there. So I want to give a huge shout out, a huge congratulations to Fern and Gypsy. So Fern and Gypsy did their through hike last year in 2022. I met them for they were subscribers and updated me throughout the course of it. And then they came and spoke to me, and we had a conversation there at Trail Days last year. So it's always neat to meet folks from the trail, and you guys are through hikers. You guys are superstars in my book, and so it's just always nice to meet you out on the trail or at Trail Days, and appreciate all the folks that come up and chat with me and everything. So what's really neat about them is they met on trail, they got engaged on Katahdin. So that is really awesome. What's even more awesome is they got married this past week on Mount Washington. So congratulations to them. That's just awesome to see that trail romance blossom and continue over the year. And you know, when you meet them, they just feel like they're meant for each other, and they're so much in love. Saw them at Trail Days again this year. They have an Etsy shop, and they also have some other stuff going on. So I guarantee you that if you were to go to their Etsy shop and purchase something, that would be an awesome wedding gift for them. And maybe purchase a lot of stuff. So that'd be an awesome wedding gift for them. I'll leave their Etsy shop link down below where you can go and find that. They got some really cool stickers and some other stuff going on there. So appreciate that. Fern and Gypsy, awesome that y'all did that. Really proud y'all stayed together, and just y'all are a great couple. And that's really neat to see that. Well, folks, that is the best way I could possibly end this with those two getting together on the trail. The trail provides in many, many ways, and it sure provided for those folks. So blessings to y'all. Long life, long marriage. Folks, as always, appreciate you, and we'll see you out there.